Hey everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie, I'm your host. I'm so happy to be here. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful week. It is October already, so exciting. Is it already? I don't know, but it is October. It is in fact the 1st of October, and if you're listening live, it is 11 a.m. Pacific time. If you're listening to an archive or a replay, I also want to welcome you to the show. I want to let you know that we're over in the chat room, and you can find it by heading over to 12radio.com. That's number 2 radio.com. Click on the chat button and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. Scott is standing by. If you've never joined before, you'll just want to ask to enter the room and he'll gladly let you in. So I also want you to know that I don't know what the right word is. I am live streaming. There you go. I'm live streaming this event through the chat room. So if you'd like to watch rather than listen, that would be the way to do so. So blah, blah, blah. There you go. Oh my gosh. How are you guys? Are you doing well? I want to let you know that it is Animal Communication Day. So if you would like to bring your babies, your fur babies, your four-leggeds to me, I would love to work with them. We can talk to animals that are living, animals that have passed. We can work on behavior issues. We can work on anything that you need them or want them to know. If you're bringing a new animal in, basically, what do you need? Right? I will be there. So in the chat room during this show, it's always fun because a lot of you share pictures of all of your fur babies, and I really love that. So if you want to share a picture with me, I would love to see it. So you can share pictures there in the chat. Now the chat for me is the it's my banner at the top of the page. So that's what you want to watch for. And that's where you would ask a question. If you ask me a question in the live stream, it's possible that I won't get to it. Things just go really fast in the live stream and I don't always see them. So if I miss you there, that's why. So better off in the chat, but you guys, you do you, right? I just got a message from my producer, who is of course also my husband, saying that he's going to bring me our pigs. And I'm guessing that this is for behavior issues. Just a guess. We have had some real adventures with the pigs here recently. Oh, and one of our dogs. I'll tell you guys my stories. So, well, the pigs, one of our pigs, Fiona, the female, is really piggy, right? All she wants to do is eat and get into food. And she discovered where we keep the dog food for our two little dogs, our two little chihuahuas, because they have to eat in their locked away, because if not, they wouldn't get to eat, right? So they eat in our bedroom. Well, she discovered that I was keeping their food in a pan. There is a ledge between our bedroom and our bathroom. It's kind of a half wall, and I was keeping their food there. So anyway, she discovered that because their noses are crazy good. So she sniffed that out and started trying to get to it, basically by climbing the laundry hamper. And she managed to climb the laundry hamper enough that she knocked the pan off into the bathtub, but wasn't able to get into the tub. She's not spry enough, apparently. So it was just driving her crazy because there was all of this dog food in the bathtub. Well, Scott, a few nights ago, woke up in the night and could hear water running. And, in his sleepy haze of being, awoken, he thought that maybe his fish aquarium was leaking. He has a 150-gallon saltwater tank in the living room. And so he heard water running, and I'm sure that's kind of always the fear in the back of his mind is, oh my God, what if this tank leaked out in this house? So he jumped out of bed, ran in the living room. The tank was full, clear to the top, which also made it look like it was empty in the dim light. And so he had a momentary panic that he had drained all the water out of his tank, which turned out luckily to not be true, but then sent him back into our bedroom to try and figure out where the hell the water was coming from. It was the bathtub, because that pig, in trying to get into the tub, turned the water on and had run the tub partway full. So thank God he woke up, because I did not. I sleep really heavy. Did not wake up, and there you go. Anyway, the next day, she did it again, and he walked in our room as the tub was cresting the top, completely full. So anyway, lesson learned, our bedroom door stays shut permanently right now. You know, the dog food was cleaned up from there, but it didn't matter. She was still determined that there had to be dog food in there. Anyway, this is what we go through with these damn pigs. And somehow we like them anyway. But so she's put us through quite a bit this week. But I shared a picture on my Facebook page, and I'm going to share it in the chat with you, of that same pig being cute. That's the hell of it. They're naughty sometimes, but they're also adorable. So a couple of mornings ago, in the morning, I have some time with them because I'm the first one up, and I feed them breakfast, and a lot of times they eat, they go out to potty, they come right back in and want to go back to bed. And they had been out, they had come back in, and I was just getting settled into my favorite chair with my coffee and my laptop to do the little work, and I just realized that they were both waiting to be tucked in. She was sitting in her favorite chair. Zig, our little male, was sitting on the couch. They were both sitting next to their blankets, and they were both staring me down. And I looked at them and I was like, what the hell? Oh, I'm being a terrible person. At least that's what their look implied. They wanted tucked in. So I made the mistake of tucking Zig in first, and Fiona was not having that. She's a very jealous little piglet. So she came running and insisted on getting in his blankets. So they ended up both tucked into the same blanket on the couch. And they slept that way for a few hours. And then, of course, you know, we're off to the races again to get into trouble. But anyway, so many things that these pigs bring to our lives. Mostly joy, sometimes, you know, nearly flooded bathrooms, but whatever, we'll roll with it, right? So when Scott says he's bringing the pigs for some behavior work, he's not kidding. Now, how is it that I can make your animals behave better than mine do? Good question. It is my opinion that it's because they are mine, because they're too close to my heart, and because, you know, they listen to me just about as well as my kids do. That's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my opinion. Now, in reality, we have successfully had 2 mini pigs living in the house now for over a year and a half with Fee. On that note, that is success to me, because I have seen a lot of people try to pick up a mini and not be able to handle it, not be able to keep them out of trouble, not be able to make it work. And we have. And so I go, okay, so, I mean, they're jerks sometimes. They're also dolls sometimes. But are we unsuccessful with them? I don't think so. I don't think so. The other thing that happened, and I'm going to tell you this, I told my sisters this at the Starbucks the other day, and they both laughed so hard that they made a complete scene out of us. I know, you can't fathom that, can you? Neither can I. Well, we were at Starbucks just chatting and, you know, doing what we do. And this had actually happened to me right before we left. And so I told them this story and they laughed so hard. Might not be a story for delicate ears, so I apologize. But one of our dogs, little Blue, really likes to sleep under my recliner. I hate that very much. Hear me on that. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But she likes to be under my blanket that's usually hanging off of that chair, and she sleeps there. And I have told her 1,000 times not to sleep there. And usually if I start to lower the chair, she'll move, right? She usually kind of scrambles out from under the chair, and I try to be aware of her being under there. Well, this particular day, I was going to have coffee with my sisters, and I was running a little late. I know. I'm sure you can't imagine that if you know me at all. But yes, I was. So I closed my chair. I didn't even think about Blue. Blue must have been sound asleep because she didn't make a peep until the chair was closed. And then I heard and felt a scuffle and heard her make what I can only describe as is kind of an uncomfortable sound. So of course I opened the chair and was a little afraid that she was injured. Well, here's what the chair did. Somehow, under that chair, when it closed, it managed to evacuate her anal glands. Yeah, sorry about that. That's what happened. She came burning out from under the chair. And if you've ever smelled that on a dog, and if you have dogs, you have, it's unmistakable. And it will live in your nose for time immemorial. So, you know, I smelled it for a long time. So thanks, Blue. Of course, it's probably my own fault for what I did to her. But anyway, she came tearing out from under the chair, laid down on my blanket. Yeah, smirched the hell out of my blanket. It was all over the floor. Like, this was serious, man. She felt quite violated and was pretty angry about it. I felt really bad and also was really hoping that maybe she'd stop doing that anymore. But anyway, poor little Blue learned the hard way that for some reason, if you sleep under the chair, it's going to drain your anal glands all over the floor and everyone else. So gross. It was a little hilarious, but I did apologize profusely for that one. Yesterday, I caught her sleeping under my recliner. So I don't know if she didn't learn her lesson or if she really wants that to happen again, but I'm going to be more careful next time. So those are some of the animal hijinks that we've had around my house this week. I would love to hear yours. Before we get too deep into our topic, however, I do want to share the magazine with you. And if you subscribe to it, you're probably receiving it right about now. It went out a little bit late this morning, and it's fine. I don't have a really strong deadline on it for myself, because if I do, that causes stress, and frankly, I'm not a fan. So, but I try to have it out a little earlier than when I did today. But what can I say? It is what it is. So I'm going to put a link in the chat room for you. You can also find it. Well, you can't actually. You're just going to have to go to the link in the chat room. Later on, you can find it over at, oh, actually, you know what? Yeah, you can. I can do it right. No, I can't. Damn it. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. You can't find it on my website yet. It's not there. I didn't get it there, but you'll find it later on over at katie-weaver.com under Katie's magazine. But for now, you'll have to just find that little link in the chat room if you want to go along with me. Brand new cover, of course, and the cover is a really badass cover. I love it. You know why I love it. It's a giant raven in front of the moon. I am just determined to Halloween things up all month long. And I don't care who knows it. This is who I am right now. And you probably already know that I am loving every freaking second of it. Yes. All right. I want to tell you guys that I'm a guest tomorrow on Down the Rabbit Hole with Raven. And that is at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we're talking about orgonite. So you guys have probably, you've probably been aware of orgonite. You may have heard me talk about it before. I've been making it for a couple of years, just casually for fun, you know. As you know, if there's not some creative endeavor going on at my house at all times, we're not home. So Scott and I have dipped our toes into orgonite several times. But so Raven had asked me if I'd come and talk about orgonite, the whys, the whats, and talk a little bit about how to make it. I'm going to share a couple of pictures in the chat room of a couple of pieces we made last week that we're just in the finishing phases of right now. It takes a lot of polishing and sanding to make them absolutely perfect. So that's the phase that these ones I'm sharing with you are in currently. And I have a video getting ready to come out, a YouTube video, a little tutorial on how to make orgonite if you want to. So I'm hoping to have that ready for you guys by tomorrow, but we'll see. But we have a lot to talk about. Orgonite is used for a myriad of different purposes, and Raven and I have been chatting about it, and we're really excited to bring it to you guys. So I am hoping that you can join us tomorrow. And again, that show is at 2 p.m. Pacific time over at right here at 12 Radio. So that is coming. I called the magazine this week the It Takes a Village edition, because one thing I've noticed this last week or two is that a lot of us are requiring a little extra support right now. A lot of us, whether it's friendship or it's a psychic advisor or a mentor, or it's a family member, or it's work support, lots of things. But it seems like we all just we're not going it alone right now. We need support. I hope that you have the opportunity to be support, and I hope you have the opportunity to receive support. I think both of those things are just really necessary right now. It has been for me as well. This weather, well, I think it's this weather and a physical thing combined, but my arthritis has been terribly flared up the last couple of weeks. And so it's put me in self-care mode. I do okay, right? I do actually really well most of the time, but sometimes this RA flares up and reminds me that I have it, and it gives me an opportunity to really dive deep into that self-care stuff that I know I need to do. It's not stuff I always have to do, but I'm in that place right now where I have to listen. I have to do what my body needs, and I probably have to go to the doctor. Yeah. Anyway, because of that, I have been a little more needy at home, I think, and a little more, in need of some help and support. I've been lucky this week because it is spud harvest. So those of you who don't live where I do probably don't know what that means, unless I've talked to you about it before. I probably have, but we close schools. They close the schools for about 10 days to get the potatoes harvested. And we're in the thick of spud harvest right now. And so Mars is out of school for 10 days. She doesn't actually work in potatoes because I am a helicopter mother who doesn't want her to work in potatoes because it's actually stupidly dangerous, and I like her fingers on her hands. So we have never let our kids work in spuds, which is crazy because Scott and I both did for, all the way through junior high and high school experiences. But we never let our kids do it. So I don't know. Maybe we robbed them of some really fun and also deeply miserable experiences. But then again, it is what it is. So with all that being said, I have Mars home this week and it's fun. But even more exciting is that my other kids are coming home this weekend. We are going camping to one of our favorite places, and I could not be more excited about it. So here is me on Tuesday, recognizing that these joints aren't bending very well. They're pretty unhappy. They're keeping me up at night. So what am I going to do? All of the things I know to do, right? Taking all of the right medication, calling the doctor, going to the pool and stretching in the warm water, putting essential oils on, the right ones, where they need to go, resting, not resting. Because with arthritis, it's not always about resting. Sometimes it's about making yourself move. So all of the things are coming into play. Drinking enough water, eating proper food. All of the things are coming into play. Sometimes I think that we get wake-up calls because we need to remember what we need. And right now, this body needs a little extra care and attention. What she does not need is me being frustrated. She does not need me being angry with her for having a glitch in the road here. It's easy for me to do that. When I'm doing so well and suddenly I'm not, it's easy to get pissed off, It's easy to feel a little betrayed. But you know what? My experience is that doesn't help her one bit. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not. I'm going to love her through this the way I would love anyone else through this. I would imagine that in the next day or two, things improve a lot for me. That's what I expect to happen, and I suppose that it will. But I think that we have to keep perspective. Whenever you have a little bump in the road, we have to keep a little bit of perspective about why, take the wake-up calls for what they are, and keep moving forward. But that was probably why I called this the It Takes a Village edition, because it does. And I am receiving that support right now and giving it, and I hope that you are too. Moving on. So in my musings, I just wrote a little bit about the fact that I had a big change in my life last week. We recorded the very last Psychic Sisters. Yeah, 9 years on the radio, and it is done. So I posted a link there. If you did not get an opportunity to listen, you can follow the link there in that article to listen to the final show. So I hope that you can. I hope that you laugh with us. I hope it's fun for you. It was fun for us. All 9 years were fun for us. Ending was definitely bittersweet, but we had a lot of fun along the way. So if you didn't get a chance to listen, I wanted to make sure that you had that link. Okay, so our animal guidance, it is the first of the month. And so of course we have animal guidance from Kai, which fits in quite perfectly to our theme today, doesn't it? And the animal guidance from Kai is the grouse. The grouse is a relation of the chicken and often called a prairie chicken. He performs a ritualistic dance that is spiral in nature. He's quite the bird, and she has some great stuff to say about him and why we are connecting to the grouse for October. So thank you, Kai. I loved that article. Loved it a lot. All right, the tip of the week. Hang a besom or broom on your door with the bristles up to whisk away negative energy at the door. And I took a picture of my broom to show you, and it's on the phone that's doing Facebook Live, so I'll have to post it for you later. But I didn't make my broom this year. I usually do. I didn't this year. I was in a craft store yesterday, and they had the cinnamon ones that are just cool. And so I bought one, and I bought a cute bow and put on it and put it next to the door, because that's what I have to offer this year, and I love it, actually. Every time I walk in or out of the house, it smells amazing. So this is one of my favorite things about Halloween. My mom used to always do this. So you put it with the bristles up. And of course, a witch's broom is an important tool, right? And you can use your broom, your home broom, also to whisk in good energy and whisk out negative energy. Maybe we'll talk about that another day, how to do that. But at any rate, this is what you do with your witch's broom and why. Hang it on your door or put it next to your door. I already have that really cool wreath on my door, so had to do something different. So it's next to the door, but bristles up, whisking away negative energy before it can come in. Would you also like to hang one of these on your office door? I wouldn't blame you. Okay. Dr. Elisa says, do not be afraid of chaos. Chaos presents us with the opportunity to create the life we want. I loved what she had to say, because I tend to create chaos, and yet everyone else's chaos makes me mad. So I probably need to get better about their chaos and embrace my own. The tips and tricks from the Domestic Mystic this week is, this is a video that I actually made it last night, and it's a little DIY. I'm going to put a link in the chat room too. You can also find it over on YouTube under Domestic Mystic. That's where all of my videos go. But I made a terrarium. I created a terrarium ancestor altar with crystals and plants, and it is so cute. I keep seeing these cool terrariums online that people are making on Pinterest, because I'm a Pinterest junkie. And they have these awesome terrariums that have plants and crystals and moss, and they're just cool. And I was thinking about, I want to make one, but I'd like to make one with purpose. So what would that look like? And I decided that I wanted to make it into my ancestor altar. I always do an ancestor altar in October and into November, because the veil is so thin this time of year and we get to connect so beautifully with our ancestors. So I went ahead and made one and made a video of me making it so that I could hopefully inspire you guys to give it a shot too. If you make one, let me know. You certainly don't have to use that lantern thing that I used. That's what I bought. I loved it. I thought it was cute and that I would use it in lots of different ways. You could use a bowl. You could buy any other kind of terrarium type thing. You could make a box. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but that's what I did. So I posted a picture of it in the chat room as well, what the inside of it looks like. So I chose different crystals to represent different family members and myself. And anyway, if you watch it and love it, I would really appreciate it if you shared it with your people. That helps me a ton. And of course, I should have a video forthcoming about Organite as well. Alrighty, and it'll be over there at Domestic Mystic. Christy said that the Kindred Spirit card this week is the root chakra, earth connection, sense of safety, home, family, work, money, balance, and foundation. The challenge, if your root's out of balance, sense of lack, instability, hyper-focus in one area. The crystal is red jasper. The meditation is I am grounded and centered. I feel safe inside and out. Interesting because the Domestic Mystics Daily Dish today was about balancing the crown. It was making me think about how that connection between the root and the crown is so profound, and we probably need a little extra help with grounding. Elizabeth Lindsay has her postcard this week, says, Happy Fall. It's Angel Beth. She's reading a book, of course, that has Octavia on it, and it's so freaking cute. So frequently I say, Elizabeth, this is your best one. And I'm saying it again. They're so great. You might notice a new theme this month also, or this week in Luminous, by the way. Brand new backgrounds for October. This is a magical set of papers, and I thought it was so cool. So anyway, that's all I wanted to bring from Luminous. There's lots of great stuff in there, so be sure that you take a peek, and we'll keep moving. Don't forget that I do have my new Reader's Corner segment, and if you would like to send to me a poem, a writing, some art, anything that you'd like for me to share in Luminous, I would love to add you to that column. And you can email it to me or send it to me here on Facebook or whatever. Okay, so enough about that. Moving on, I'm going to jump back into the chat room here for just a minute. Of course, that's going to take a minute. Facebook is doing a thing today where it does not update. Oh, wow. So Chris posted, she said, very inspired by your raven wreath, and made this one with turkey feathers that I found. It is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. You know, Native Americans consider turkeys to be ground eagles, and their feathers are very sacred. You know, we see eagle feathers as so sacred, and they are. And of course, they're also illegal, and so most people don't have them. But turkey feathers are also very sacred. And so, Chris, that is absolutely gorgeous for one. You are so skilled. But for two, what a sacred way to use those feathers. I absolutely love it. Also, that's so cool for not just for Halloween, but all the way through Thanksgiving, and awesome. I love it. I love this idea of being able to walk your talk in multiple ways. You know, like we all have all these spiritual beliefs, and that's great. And hopefully you live the way you, you know, you practice what you preach in multiple ways. But I love being able to bring the crafty end of it to the table, or the, you know, the way we arrange the living room, or what you put on the living room table, or the kind of bedding you have, or whatever, that you kind of get to pull all of that magic into your life in a myriad of ways. That's really important to me. And you guys know that this show has been a lot about that in a lot of ways, but I really, I honor it, and I love watching and seeing the stuff that you guys do as well, and sharing some of my own stuff. So lots of fun. All right, I want to get to our sound therapy today so that we can then get into the chat room. I'm seeing lots of good animal questions, and I want to make sure that we get to them since it is Animal Communication Day. By the way, what are you drinking? I always ask. I noticed yesterday I was at the grocery store, and Bigelow, I think Bigelow Tea, they had all of their holiday flavors out. And I am a sucker for the holiday flavors. So this is cranberry vanilla, and it does not suck. Yep. Been drinking a ton of tea lately. I'm usually a coffee girl, but tea's just been, I've been all about it. Alrighty. We're going to drum today. A little bit different purpose. I thought maybe we were going to do some grounding work since that seems to be a theme. We're not. However, you may very well see a, grounding effect anyway. Mars and I did some work together last week, and I wanted to share a piece of that with you because we were empowering some work. And I wanted to talk about that. So I want to empower some work with drumming. So how do we do that? Well, I'm going to play the drum. While I do that, I want you to really hold space for something in your life that you are trying to accomplish. Now, it might not be for you. Maybe it's not, and that's okay. I would love it if it's for you, but I'm not going to tell you what you have to do. Maybe you have a friend that's having surgery today, or you have a family member that's going through something hard, or having a job interview, or something. Or maybe it's you. Maybe you are trying to empower something big in your life. So here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to drum for it. You're going to hold space with me. You're going to stand in this space with the drum. You're going to visualize the thing that you're working on or that your loved one is working on, and just allow the frequency of the drum to empower that. Just adding a ton of energy to it through the drum. Easy enough, right? Right. Okay. So hopefully you have your idea in mind, and I'm going to go ahead and start drumming. So, of course, I'm going to position, and I've told you this before, but anyway, in this kind of drumming, this side of the drum is the side that is the receiving side. So I am giving through pounding. You are receiving through the outside, or the inside of the drum, I guess, not the outside. But so I'll try and I'm going to position it so that the mic is receiving it, so that Facebook Live is receiving it. This is the receiving end. So you hold space and I will drum for you. So again, we are empowering your manifestations right now. Okay. If that didn't ground you, I don't know what will. So I hope that you were able to hold yourself in that space to visualize wonderful outcomes and just allow the drum to empower your work. Yet another reason why you need a drum. I know, I've said it before. Okay. Well, I hope that helped you. I had some great flashes. I wasn't really holding space for anything except for you guys. I didn't really have anything of my own in mind. But I saw someone signing on a house. I thought that was fun. I wondered which one of you that was visualizing that. But I saw someone sitting in the, the title office signing on a house. Fun. Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and get down to it. I really want to get into your animal stuff. So Jacqueline says, I have 3 cats. Two came together. They were rescues and took a long time to unwild, especially Sunshine, the calico. I also see Sunshine's buddy, Wishka, stalking. Okay. The 3rd cat is 12 years old, rescued her years ago. She came back into my home about 1.5 years ago. The problem is the other 2 and the 1 are at odds. I see Sunshine stalking Sweetie outside. Sweetie has been run out of her room and sleeps outside in the cold. I would appreciate the 2 and the 1 tolerating one another so Sweetie can sleep inside this winter. I think a lot has to do with jealousy. Can you help? Yeah, let's take a look. Definitely. Okay, so I'm going to talk to, looks like Sunshine first. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they have been very purposeful about this. They don't like her. I told her that they're packing like dogs. She didn't like that. But they're packing like dogs. Even just the 2 of them. All right, so what I'm showing her though is that this is, that she is not in charge, that you are in charge. And she's not the pack leader around your house. You are the pack leader. And that you said Sweetie can come in. And you said Sweetie can sleep in her room or wherever she wants. And that you said that Sunshine does not get to control this, nor does the other kitty. I still see her snarling at Sweetie though, so I'm going to keep explaining to her what's going to happen. So here's what I'm going to tell her, because I get to be the bad guy in a sense, because they're not mine. And so I'm going to show Sunshine and Wishka that if they don't knock it off, they will be sleeping outside. And Sweetie is sleeping inside. I want them to know that regardless of what they're going to do, she is sleeping inside. So I'm showing them her coming in, sleeping, and you giving her attention, and that if they're aggressive with her, that they will then be taken outside and they can sleep outside. Yeah, they didn't like that, Jacqueline. So I'm showing them just avoiding each other in the house. That looks like a better option. I'm going to ask Sweetie to avoid them as well, and to just stay close to you when she can. And I'm also asking them to ignore her. I would like for this to at some point get to a sweeter place where they can be kind with each other. I don't really like the idea of them having to ignore each other. I really don't like her having to be ignored. But for now, I think that brings enough peace into the house so that everyone can sleep in the house. But let's reiterate that warning for them. If the other 2 are naughty with her, that you remind them, hey, you want to sleep outside? Because that's what's going to happen. They need to know that the option of someone sleeping outside isn't just Sweetie, it's also them. Okay. Dang cats, huh? Alrighty. Domenica, I have lost your question, but I think I recall it enough. Maybe I can get back to it. Okay. She says, as you know, I've been really wanting a dog, but it's just not happening with travel this month and trying to find the right one. I want a King Charles Cavalier, yet still not sure. Do you see a beautiful pup coming to us? I really love the choice of the King Charles. I know you've oscillated between a little dog and a big dog, and I really feel like the King Charles is a much better option for you guys for a million different reasons. But, largely because King Charles they're a little tougher to potty train than big dogs. I'll give you that. But with a little work, I know that you can do it. And I feel like that'll be your baby, easier to take with you when you're going like to your folks and things like that. And just a little easier to manage. So I still do see the King Charles. The timing doesn't seem perfect this month, but I really could see a King Charles come into your world in November. I could. I also feel like you have to just do a couple of things to your comfort zone, like make sure you have a babysitter. So probably be talking with your parents and other family members that, hey, if we're out of town, would it be possible for, our puppy to come here, or, get very comfortable with a kennel or a doggy daycare or a vet that you can kennel him or her at. But him, yeah, it's a him, huh? That comes up really strong. So I do still think it's happening, Domenica. I do. Obviously, we have to get the timing down, but I still think you are going to bring one of those adorable babies into your world. Oh, Chris said she wishes that was her signing on a home of her own. Well, next time we drum, let's do that with you. Jean says, could you please communicate to my dog, Juniper, that I'm going to be out of town this Friday and will be back home on Sunday. When I'm gone, our neighbor Susie will come over every day to feed her and give her water. Yeah, absolutely. Let's tune into Miss Juniper here. I think maybe she'd already figured it out that you were leaving. She feels a little edgy and nervous to me. So she likes Susie though. That's going to be fine. She's much more curious, Jean, about where you're going and what you're doing. So I promised her that you will be fine and you will be back. I'm showing her you coming back through the door with your luggage and putting your luggage down and giving her some loves. That you will certainly be back, and it's not going to be for long. I feel like Susie's going to spend some pretty sweet time with her too. So she'll miss you. She's going to be a little lonely, but I actually feel like it's going to be okay and she'll be all right. But always good to let them know if something's changing. I completely agree. Yeah, very good. Okay. Mary said, I'm on the road to recovery and happy to be here listening. And Mary, I'm overjoyed to hear that. Instead of in the hospital, she's finally home, I'm guessing. Okay. Would love to know how Tammy is doing. Oh, now that I'm home. Tammy's her dog. She's overly protective of me. Also need to let her know it is not okay to beg at the table or steal my husband's filet mignon. Oh, yes, she did. Oh, Tammy. He's not been happy with her ever since. She still jumps up on me despite being told no. Not sure how to make her understand without seeming angry. Please help. All right, let's tune into this kid. Oh yeah, she's like hyper protective of you right now. So first I'm going to show her absolutely no on food, that she only eats dog food, and that if that's going to be the case, that at mealtime she's going to have to go into a crate or a kennel or out back. That would be your choice. I'm going to show her a kennel. I need to show her something concrete. So that at mealtime she'll have to go into her kennel until everyone's done eating if this doesn't get better. Also showing her that she only eats dog food and is never ever allowed on the table. Okay, now showing her mom here. She's allowed to sit next to you or lay next to you. She's allowed to sit at your feet. She's not allowed to jump on you. I'm showing her that giving you pain, making you say ow. Yeah, she knows, Mary, she knows, but she's just, it's been hard on her to have you gone. Yep, I know. So I'm just showing her that we need her to step up right now. I need her to overcome those emotions that are, giving her permission to jump and knock it off and get down. I'm showing her that she needs to be a guardian for you at your feet, a guardian near you, but not on top of you and all over you. Yeah. She's sure happy you're home. Okay, let's see how that does, and hopefully that draws down the that need to jump and that need to be naughty. Okay. Sheila says, I have a question. I want to know if Maya is willing to come back. So Maya is her dog that passed about a month ago, a little longer, about 6 weeks ago. I want to know if Maya is willing to come back, or should I wait a little longer for her? I don't mean tomorrow, but before the year ends. I miss so much having a dog, and I miss her terribly. Well, let's tune in. Let's find out. She said she's resting. She's still resting and healing, and yeah, we understand. But towards the end of the year, like Christmas time, the timing doesn't feel perfect, Sheila, but I feel like, well, now doesn't, right? Okay, but yeah, towards the end of the year, January-ish, she does want to come back. She had fully intended to when she transitioned. You know that. She had fully intended to come back and still is planning to come back. She says, you still have so many more adventures to come. Yeah. So I would say yes, towards the end of the year. I think that you'll know. The timing will just, it kind of works that way. You'll wake up one morning and go, okay, the time is right. It's time to roll. I do feel like that's still in the works for you. Yep. And what a little sweetheart. But yeah, that was cute. She showed me that she's still resting. So I'm going to take that to mean she's still working on, you know, getting back together, getting herself put back together. Laura said, thank you so much for doing your magic with Mika. After 4 days of her getting up every hour during the night, she has slept through the night for 3 nights in a row since you chatted with her. I will be forever grateful to you and so blessed that you have such a lovely connection with her and me. My honor, and I'm so glad that she is. So Mika was, she's not a puppy, but she's still a puppy. You know, she's not a teeny puppy, but she's still a puppy at heart and in her mentality. And she hasn't been sleeping well. She's been getting bored at night and basically just insisting that people get up and play with her and take her out. So we had a good conversation about not doing that when Laura is asleep, so are you, and that you won't be waking her anymore. And she stopped, so that's good. I hope that lasts. She's still her, and she might need more reminders here and there, but she's sure a smart dog and a darling dog. She's just getting all of this figured out. Catherine would love an update on wandering Socks. Sadly, has yet to return to my parents' home. Let's take a peek at Socks. So Socks wandered off. Gosh, Catherine, what's it been? About a month? That might be too long. It's been a while, though. And has not come home. I have no update on Socks coming home at this time, Catherine. I don't see it happening. Socks at first had not come home because she had basically just was on a big tear and then ended up with some other cats, kind of in a feral situation, but not quite, more like neighborhood cats or alley cats. And I don't feel her now, Catherine. I don't see her coming home at this point. I'm still going to hold space that she does. I'm still going to continue to send her home. I wonder if her situation has changed. I'm curious to know how you are seeing that or how you're feeling about that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I'm so sorry. Darn it. She should be home with your folks where she belongs. Okay. Kate says, I lost my best friend Jessica today. She is a chicken. Can you connect with her? My new dog got to her. We were very close. I caught her in the wild at Twin Bridges. I plan on taking her body there tonight. Oh, Kate, dang it. I'm so sorry. Yeah, let's connect. She says that you're feeling so guilty because you brought this dog home and, didn't anticipate that something like this could or would happen. She said she didn't either, or she would have kept more distance, but she felt very comfortable about it. She doesn't want you to feel guilty about it, like you caused this, you didn't, and you know, you trusted that the dog would never kill one of your chickens, and unfortunately this dog, well, did. And obviously you can't take it back now, but she doesn't want you to feel bad. She says it's been a lot of fun. She actually shows me it's been an enormous amount of fun to be at your house. Lots of adventure, lots of things constantly happening. She absolutely loved you and tolerated the girls and enjoyed her experience with you very much. So she says, don't be sad. I know you're going to be sad, but she says, don't be sad and don't feel guilty in any way. It's just one of those things that happened. She says that her neck was broken quickly too, and she really didn't suffer. She also wanted you to know that. Sorry, that's a little gruesome, but she wanted you to hear that too. So, darn it, darn it, darn it. I'm so sorry that happened. I think taking her back to Twin Bridges is brilliant. You're going to just dig a little hole and bury her there somewhere. Twin Bridges is a campground near where we live on the Snake River, and it is a really cool place. All right, Kate, if we can talk any more about that, let me know, but I'm sure sorry that that happened. Okay. All right, taking one more peek. I think I actually got to everybody. Can you imagine that? We're on a roll today. I think I got you all. If I missed anyone, I'm sorry. I think we did do it. Okay, I'm going to refresh. Sometimes Facebook doesn't just automatically refresh, and then after the show, I'll discover that I missed all kinds of things. So I don't want that to be happening. Nope, we look good. Okay, wonderful. All righty. So we have 3 minutes left in the show. I did want to point out that Chris said that she's going to use her wreath as her ancestor portal, since she has made some strides with genealogy research and recently has access to old photographs. Oh, that's going to be super, super cool. I absolutely love that. That's going to be awesome. I hope you guys do some ancestor something. I really do. That is it's a really cool way to connect to who you are. It really is. Okay, I just wondered if there was any other animal thing that we could talk about here for 2 more minutes. I very rarely find myself at a loss for words. I don't think I'm at a loss for words, am I? That doesn't really happen. Well, let's talk about a tiny bit about that phenomena. You've heard me say before, talk about animals coming back. This is something that I've heard for many years in animal communication from animals, that they have some kind of a pact or a soul agreement with you that they're going to be a part of your process. It's amazing to me that we have this kind of support in our worlds. How lucky are we, right? That we have animal spirits that are either going to walk alongside of us in spirit as a guide, or occasionally incarnate into bodies and be a part of our physical experience. I can't think of anything more lucky, really, for us, you know? We have angels and we have guides and they're around us. They're not palpable usually. But then we get these guides in animals. Not every animal that you cross paths with has an agreement with you. Not every one of them is supposed to be there, but some of them are. Some of them are a part of your path. They're a part of your experience. You made an agreement with them or them with you before you were ever born, that they would be a part of this life with you in one capacity or another. And I think that's one of the most miraculous and amazing things that we have ever had happen to us, truly. How do you know? There's just those ones, right? That you feel so deeply connected to. Kind of like Jessica, the chicken, right? Will Jessica come back into Kate's world? Without a doubt. Will she be a chicken? I think not, actually. I suspect she's coming back as a cat to you next time, Kate. But maybe she'll surprise me, but I'm seeing a kitty. But anyway, it's that feeling. You know what I'm talking about, I hope. An animal that you just can't get out of your system. An animal that just feels like something that is a part of you, or someone that is a part of you. And that's how you know. And can they come back? Yeah. Will they? Well, if you want them to, you should ask. And See what happens. Miracles are happening all around us every day. So that's all the time we have. I want to thank you all so much for being here. I want to let you know that I'll be over at When to Listen for the rest of the day and evening if you need anything. And again, don't forget to come and listen tomorrow. I'm going to be Raven's guest on Down the Rabbit Hole at 2 p.m. Pacific right here on 12 Radio, where we are changing the way you listen to the world.